Welcome back. So today we are talking about three myths people have about homeschooling. Um, Whenever I first decided to homeschool, people were like, "What? Why do you do that?" My parents was like, "But you want to homeschool?" um, but yeah, people are deciding to do something different and homeschool their kids for so many different reasons. And specifically, African American people are actually the largest, fastest people group that are joining the homeschool community for so many reasons, obviously. And so I think it's really amazing. And so I just want to dispel some myths that are out there in regards to homeschooling. So let's jump into it. And also, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel. I share all about homeschooling, investing, business, family life, all of the above. So be sure to subscribe. But let's jump into it. Number one, so many people have a fear of, if I homeschool my kids, how will they be socialized? How will they interact with other kids? And this is a really good concern, I would say. Um, One, it's really funny to me that parents are worried about socialization because in traditional school, like, they really don't get a lot of socialization. They are told to stay in the class, don't talk, sit down and listen. Even at lunchtime, some schools are like, talk with your quiet voice or don't talk at all. So they really don't get much socialization to me in traditional school than they do as homeschoolers. Um, but my family, we get socialization in so many different ways. Um, my kids are involved in sports. My kids, we go on field trips and we always bring friends. We connect with other homeschoolers throughout the week in our various ways that we are living life. And also, my kids joined a co-op this year, so it's a essentially like a group of homeschoolers that come together a couple times a week to learn different subjects, and they're able to see other kids during that time too. And then I would challenge you to just understand that socialization is um, it's not limited to kids that are the same age group as your kids. Because in real life, I can't be like, oh, I can't talk to you because you're 25 and I'm 36. Right? We interact with people at all ages, um, in all levels of life, right? And so we want to foster that in our home too. Like, we want to allow that to be a norm for us. So our kids are socialized when they go to work with their dad. They're socialized when they come to work with me. So let's like dispel the myth of that socialization with children are just based on age appropriateness. One myth. Number two, how will my kid go to college if they're homeschooled? I answer this question so many times, and they are very shocked when I say the same way you went to college and the same way I went to college is how homeschool kids go to college, right? So just because a child is homeschooled doesn't mean they can't go to college. Especially nowadays, there's so many universities that, I mean, most of the universities, even the Ivy League schools and everything, that accept homeschool kids into college. And the same way that your kid, if you choose to do public school or private school, the same way that your child will apply to take the ACT, apply to take the SAT, and any other standardized test that's required to in order to get into college, my kid will decide to do the same. They will need to study for the ACT and study for the SAT, and if a specific college wants that plus a diploma, then they'll have to get a GED plus ACT and ACT. But most colleges will recognize homeschool um, families, and then they need to have a certain accreditation to, they need to have a certain score and acceptance with the SAT and ACT. Also, the beautiful thing about homeschool is that My sons can actually begin homeschooling at 14. We don't have to wait until 18 to homeschool. We can start as early as 14 and they can begin choosing classes according to what they're interested in. Their filmmaking class that they're in right now is actually like a college. It's not at a college, but it's a college level. Like it's a filmmaking one-on-one class, essentially. That's like college level, and they're 13 and 11. So that's amazing. And just think about like with being able to have access to those opportunities, like how if they do decide to pursue this as a trade, how much earlier they will be able to explore and learn. Indeed, they'll be able to go versus like waiting until you turn 18 to go to college. So homeschool kids go to college too. There are lots of successful um, people who have been homeschooled their whole lives and went to college and got their masters and PhDs and all that kind of stuff. The foundation of our unschooling home is that we want to foster a love for learning. So, and that goes into like my third point, actually. Number three, not learning enough. What if I hear this all the time, what if they grow up and they don't know enough, or they don't know about this event, or they don't know about this history that took place, they don't know about this kind of math, or they don't know something. They found out they don't know something, right? And I think the foundation of an unschooling, homeschooling environment is to help your kids develop a love to learn. Because if you develop a love to learn, you can learn anything. You are limitless. And then I believe with the rapid change in technology, why would I like invest my time in learning something if I don't need to apply it right now? And by the time I need to apply it, it has most likely changed. It's no longer done the way it was 5 years ago when I learned it. Now that is actually outdated and we are doing it this way, right? Think about your cell phone. We had flip phones, you know, 10 years ago. And now, if I had figured out how to make a flip phone and how to work it and all that kind of stuff just to learn it because someone told me I had to learn it, and now you have the iPhone, and a flip phone is pretty much obsolete, right? And so it's the same thing with learning. If you teach a man how to fish, he will always be able to eat and fish for himself. It's the same way to me with learning. So, hope this video was helpful for you. Share this with a friend who may be on the fence or having hesitations about homeschooling, but maybe it really is the best option for the family. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you.